Hey, what is up, guys? My name is Sanket. You are watching Sanket's Brush, and after 3 weeks, I have finally managed to create a simpler voxel terrain which generate itself when I start the game. Actually, I haven't managed to create this inside godot editor. So yes, and one more thing, I have changed my background as you can see. So let me know what do you think about it. And so first, let me show you the whole uh, thing here. So these are the chunks, basic chunks, 10 by 10, actually 10 by 10 by 10. And first, let me show you how this thing works. And yes, it takes some time to start the game because it is generating the chunks for terrain. Yes, it is taking a little bit longer. And yes, here we are in the game. And as you can see, uh, frame rate is a little bit low, and this is our terrain system. It is not fully developed yet. As you can see, this is just a chunk. I mean, there are no what we call that, पहाड़ नहीं है अभी यहाँ पर. There are no mountains or hills or valleys. It is just straight up 3D Berlin noise. Uh, I'm working on it, but for now, as you can see, this is the terrain system, and I can delete them or recreate them. Actually, just before making this video, I broke the system which uh, instance the blocks. So for now, in this video, I can only just break the cube and not regenerate the cube, as you can see. So this is how I can break the cube. Okay, and yes, this is the terrain system I have created, and now I am going to explain you everything about how I created this. This is video is going to be a little bit longer and little bit boring, so please stick with it. So what I have created, let's start. So basically, these are the chunks. Let me make it simple. I'm going to delete 63 chunks and keep one chunk here. This is one chunk. And now let's say this is not gonna take long time now generating because it's just a one chunk. Okay, as expected, it didn't took long time. And here you can see this is only one chunk, which is 10 cells. I call these cube cells because it is easier to understand. 10 cells by 10 cells by 10 cells. And yes, this is so these are the chunks. So how are they getting generated? Now let me first show you the cell, how the cell works. So as you can see, if I go in the chunk scene, there are no cells. There are some things named cell and something, but these are no cells. Here you can see the cell uh, scene. So what do we have here? So this is just a simple cube, mesh cube, and occlusion instance 3D, as you can see, for better performance, and area 3D for the 3D cursor. So 3D cursor, so what do these things do? So this is a collision shape 3D, and our chunk, I mean the cell instancer, is a static mesh, or what you can say this, yes, static object 3D, and our cell instancer instances the cell inside it in the pattern of, in the way that like how can I say, uh, explain this. So here you can see, uh, I should explain it in brief. Actually, I didn't plan the explanation. So as you can see, let me first show you the code behind this. Okay, so here is the code, and what do we have here? So for y in, first let me tell you that resolution x, this is the resolution y, and this is the resolution 10, which are 10 by 10 by 10, and this is cell p, which is actually uh, path of the cell file, I mean cell.tsn, from our resource files. And after that, make hollow. This is, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to explain. I forgot to show you this make hollow thing. This makes the terrain hollow. I mean, there will be uh, okay. Oh, I accidentally opened two. Oh, I mean one project in two editors. I have to reload it and close one. Okay, 7 close in the player. Sorry guys, I forgot to turn off my same project from, I mean, when I was working on it. So this is player. I think I'm going to restart the project. I mean, if real voxel terrain. Okay, good. Okay, let's see now. What do we have in here? So this chunk thing, this area do nothing but it turns off the whole process going on under it when player is out of that box or chunk. As you can see, when area entered, process mode inherit, and process mode disabled, which is actually, you can see, no, you cannot see now. Okay, wait a second, I'm going to reposition. Okay. Okay, now you can see it is, yes, process. Here you can see the process mode inherit. If I turn this off or disable this process is computer is not going to calculate this process, and some load of these things will be reduced from the process. And so this area do this thing here, which is actually when player gets inside, it turns on the process of these things, whatever they are doing, and when player uh, goes out of the chunk, then these processes under the area happening will stop immediately. So now let's see the cell instance. So this is make hollow. So this simply makes the terrain hollow. Let me show you what I mean by that. Sure takes long time to start. Okay, finally. Okay, now as you can see, this thing is not hollow at all. Wait, this is my 3D cursor. Whenever this 3D cursor enters the chunk get activated, and here you can see this thing is not hollow. Let me enter. As you can see, if I enter the things, these are all filled with cells. So these things are not hollow, and it is energy consuming, performance consuming, and let we can say that this is a little bit on harsh side for computer. And let's make it hollow up here, which is now let's take this, and now let's see what is the performance. And as you can see, okay, as you can see, the performance is skyrocketing, and this thing is now hollow, which is it is just a make hollow thing will act as a wall between two, what we can say, that dimensions. If I make a hole here, I will go to the another side of the terrain, anywhere, not only here. As you can see, this thing is completely hollow and performance efficient because there are less cells in this hollow thing or hollow terrain. Right, let's untick this one, and now let me show you how this thing works. As you can see, this is the resolution, and mm, okay. Yeah, okay. So this is just a noise. Let's continue. These three are resolutions: make hollow, thickness. Oh yeah, I forgot to. So this is just a thickness which decides how thick our terrain is going to be, and this is noise, basic noise. You can change the or you can customize the noise here if you know the godot editor. And in ready function, we are doing everything about generating the uh, mesh, terrain in our ready function. So what do we have here? Noise dot or noise dot offset is global position. Okay, and let's first see. As you can see here, I have made a note here: high performance, less geometry, less performance, high geometry. So let's go with easy things first, which is non-hollow uh, terrain. So as you can see, here are some for loops, 3 for loops for y in resolution of y, for z in resolution of z, and for x in resolution of x. So we are creating some variables here which creates a which decides which material is going to, I mean, the cube, which material we are going to put on our cube. Okay. So NOIY is which is this, actually this is a uh, it noise 3D. Now what we are going to what we are doing here is we are getting a value from 3D noise, and NOIY, which is for, we are taking this value for a single cell, and uh, here we are going here we are getting the value. Let me show you, let me just make a painting, or I'm going to explain you with drawing here. Mm. So let's say, oh, so let's say this is our 3D chunk, and in here in this 3D chunk there is 3D noise like this. Let me make it a little bit gray. So this is just a 3D noise. I know it is not looking good, but for now let's uh, assume this is a 3D noise. Okay, so this is a 3D noise, and now we are going to take a mm, value from this 3D noise inside the chunk. So this is for cell 1. If there is no noise, the cell will not be instanced in that position. Then we will check next position, which is here now, and next. So here we have a noise, I mean the value of noise is more than 0. As you can see, the gray part is here. So here we are going to put our let's make it blue. So here we are going to put the cell, and then we will move on next position. Here is no noise, here is noise, so here we are going to put another cell. So we will do this thing like this. If this one line is completed, we will do another line, then another line. Basically, first we are going to complete the uh, first we are going to complete the first layer. After that, the second layer, then the third layer, and like that we are going from down to up. Actually, we are making like this and going up. I should. It is hard to explain. Okay, so if you good luck if you have learned how to create this 3D terrain, and okay, now this we have values, three values, NOIY, which is uh, from the position of cell above cell, we are calculating the uh, value of these three positions, which is actually uh, okay. If this is the wait, if this is a cell, then we NOIY is this value, upper value, and NOI this underscore y is this value, and NOII is just noise on instance, which is basically uh, noise of cell, and I have put a condition of NOIY if uh, okay, if our noise upper value and lower value from the position is same, then what are we doing here? We are going to make a random decision here. I mean, I am making a random decision here which tells the cell to add a material of uh, material of soil or material of where it is emit. Yes. So the data thing. If you are confused, what is this thing? So I this is a another script which I attached it through autoload. As you can see here, this is our autoload script, and this is our data, and this is the script path. Okay, so here is our data JD script. Here are some variables. The soil is material soil texture. Here you can see. Sorry, here you can see this is a texture, and again grass, which is this texture. I don't know what happened to this texture. I think this texture is broken inside the editor, and the rock, as expected, here is the stone, and here is the emission, which is actually light. This is just a light texture, and this is iron ore texture, and I haven't used iron yet inside my thing, the chunk. But let's continue. If you understood, so these basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the variables from our data file, don't confused it with don't get confused with the name data. It is just a simple autoload file. So we are creating a decide variable which is a random range between 1 and 100, and if decide is 1, then we are putting a texture of image emission or emit texture on our cell. Else we are going to put soil texture. Else, if if this is not true, if upper value of noise and lower value of noise are not same, then what we are going to do is we are going to compare if which is bigger and which is smaller. So if upper noise is bigger, then we are going to put a rock texture there. Let me explain you again. What I am trying to do here is, so I'm doing is, let me just show you in the project itself. Okay. And I should do something about this is taking so long. Okay. After 1,000 years later. Okay, so as you can see, if the noise value is less, if the lower noise value is less and upper noise value is high, that means we are gonna put a rock texture, and if there is upper noise value is low and lower noise value is high, then we are going to put a grass texture, and if upper noise value and lower noise value are same, which is actually 1, if both are same and bigger than 0, then we are going to put a soil texture, or sometimes it can be an emission texture, just like this one and that one. Here you can see there are emissions or emitting cubes in some areas, only in some areas. So as you can see in the corner, there is some glitches. There are some glitches which are actually, these glitches are happening because of our occlusion instance. I forgot the name, that node. So as you can see, the textures, and this is how the texture works. And after putting the textures on the after putting textures on our cell, the decided textures, what do we have here? Okay, now we decide to should we put the should we put the cell on the position or not. If the cell position have the value of noise 1, then we are going to put a cell, or we are going to make an instance of the cell uh, cell scene or cell tsn, and if noise is okay, yeah, basically this is the if noise NYI, which is position of the cell. How do I explain it now? So this is our noise. I'm just repeating the stuff. I should move on now. And finally, we are stopping the whole process of that chunk after generating the terrain 10 by 10 terrain. And yes, this is how this thing works. Actually, there is one more thing, but I can't show you it right now because it is not ready yet. The as I can delete the cubes, I can also instance the cubes with the 3D cursor, which is I think I should make another video on it. It's now it is a little bit longer video. Okay, so yes, for this video, I'm going to make one more video on this topic because I literally spent my 3 weeks making this thing. Because if you ask me why didn't he use the mesh generator or something like that? So let me show you. I think there are no proper tutorials or there it is. I want to show you the mesh instance 3D. So as you can see, I can create meshes with immediate mesh or array mesh, but I cannot, for now, I cannot create that. I mean, I don't have knowledge to create the meshes inside the godot. So that's why I'm using the instance thing. I'm making the things using instance only. I tried to learn, but the normals are not normals are broken or something like that. Basically, I cannot create meshes inside the godot editor using mesh instance 3D, array mesh or immediate mesh 3D, and that's why I'm using the cell thing. And yes, for now that's it. I'm going to make another video maybe in next 1 week. I know I'm making less videos these days because I don't want to create a uninformative video. So yes, for now that's it. Goodbye and keep making games.